Welcome back to the A to Z of purpose and leadership. Today, our word is one that often feels too simple to be powerful, and yet it may be the most transformative of them all: kindness. Kindness is currency that never loses its value. In a world racing toward achievement, competition, and success, kindness is often underestimated. We think titles, strategies, and status are what makes leaders memorable. But if we really look back and are honest with ourselves, the leaders that we remember the most are not the ones with the biggest titles. They're the ones who lead with compassion. I remember I worked several times with this amazing world leader, and after each event, he would give a little gift of token of thank you. And I'll never forget the first time he said to me, the best way to show thank you is to write a handwritten note to everyone. And sure enough, each time I did an event with him, I got a handwritten note and I felt the kindness and care. That was more memorable to me than any achievement or success that he had achieved. And so today I want to explore with you the three truths about kindness. First, it builds trust. Second, it multiplies. And third, it's strength, not weakness. So, lesson number one: kindness builds trust. People may respect your competence, but they follow your kindness. Trust is not earned only in results, it's earned by how you treat others, especially when no one is watching. I remember listening to a comedian sharing that when he would go out to lunch, he would choose who he would work with based on not how they treated him, but how they treated the servers. Fred Rogers is known for leading with gentle consistency. Mr. Rogers wasn't just a TV host, he was a masterclass in kindness. He answered children's letters personally. He comforted them through hard topics like divorce and death, and showed unwavering respect for their feelings. His kindness built trust across generations. Kids felt safe with him because he treated them as whole people, not just as children. A survey showed that people who strongly agree with their leaders care more about them as a person, are 69% less likely to search for a new job. They want to stay with leaders that they believe in. In other words, kindness in leadership reduces turnover and increases loyalty. When leaders respond with empathy instead of ego, trust compounds, and trust is the soil where true influence grows. Lesson number two: kindness multiplies. Kindness has a ripple effect. A kind word encourages someone who then passes it along. A single act of grace in a moment of stress can shift an entire atmosphere of a room. Psychologists call this emotional contagion. The way moods and behaviors spread throughout a group. A study showed that when people experienced kindness, they were more than twice as likely to pay it forward within the same day. History shows us this ripple. Think of Princess Diana. She's known as the people's princess, not because of her position, but because of her compassion. When she shook hands with AIDS patients at a time when fear and stigma were rampant, her kindness sparked a global shift in perception and policy. One act multiplied into millions of changed attitudes. Kindness spreads faster than authority and often lasts longer. Lesson number three: kindness is strength, not weakness. Our culture sometimes mistakes kindness for softness, for weakness. We think strength means being tough, unyielding, or dominant, but it actually takes far more courage to respond with kindness in face of conflict instead of lashing out. Kindness is not weakness. It's strength under control. It's compassion paired with conviction. Think about Mahatma Gandhi. His entire philosophy of nonviolent resistance was built on kindness and compassion, even toward those who oppressed him. That choice of kindness didn't make him weak. It gave him moral authority so powerful that it dismantled the largest empire in the world without a single shot fired. Truth strength is the ability to remain kind even when everything in you wants to retaliate. That's leadership. So, what are we going to do? Here's your practice for this week. Think of someone you lead, mentor, or influence, and write down one specific way you can express kindness to them. Not general, but personal. Maybe it's sending a note of encouragement. Maybe it's giving them your full attention in a meeting. Maybe it's surprising them with support in an area they don't expect. Then do it quietly, without announcement, because real kindness doesn't need spotlight. Kindness isn't an accessory to leadership, it's the core. Titles fade, numbers shift, strategies change, but kindness endures. Leading with kindness, you will be remembered not just for what you've achieved, but for how you make people feel. Because in the end, it's not just the strategies that echo, it's compassion, it's kindness, and that is the lesson of today. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this episode resonated with you, try the exercise and share this with someone who impacted your life through kindness. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe and the notification bell and join me in the next time in continuing on with our A to Z journey through purpose and leadership.